How is everyone?
Okay.
You ready?
We're ready.
Welcome everyone to the QVSD school board meeting, regular meeting of today. If you'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, I would appreciate it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome all.
It's okay. I understand.
Glad to see everyone who's here. Hi, out there in the Netherlands there. All right, well, here we go. This should be old hat. We need a motion to approve our meeting minutes of our regular meeting of March 25th.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of March 25th meeting.
That'd be great, thanks.
I'll second.
Okay. Any corrections or things that were left out need to be added? No? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. They're approved. How about we adopt tonight's agenda, starting with a motion to do so?
I'll make a motion. We adopt tonight's agenda.
Great, thanks. Second?
I'll second.
Any additions or changes? How come these things are highlighted in the consent agenda in yellow?
Those would be things that we added after we published.
Oh,
the
but they
agenda.
were already in the computer, right? I mean, I saw it earlier. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any changes to the agenda? Anybody proposes? No? All right. All those in favor of adopting tonight's agenda, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. Nathan, it's time for public comments and questions. Do you have any public comments or questions at your end? Okay, and I don't see any out here either, so we'll move quickly into Spotlight on Success, starring Kirsten McCracken and her new teacher mentor program update for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's nice to be here again. This is the slide deck that I have created for you. If you would like to follow along, you may. This picture is from day one of New Teacher Academy.
Can you make it full screen?
And in the photo, we have our high school science teacher, Brandon, our 7th grade social studies teacher, Kat, our high school counselor, Shauna, 8th grade science teacher, Kelly, and our district occupational therapist, Felicity. They attended day 1 and 2. We had a few folks that were not in the photo because they were hired after Academy, which tends to happen. Go ahead and move to the next slide. New Teacher Academy was a huge success. We had a lot of fun. And in fact, we celebrated kind of Olympics style with the Summer Olympics happening. And so this is a photo of mentors, mentees, and a few district staff. There's Diana in there and Elena and Hazel, you're in there too, right in the middle. So we got to pose kind of in our favorite sports. Like if we won the gold, what would our pose be? This program does not work without our stakeholder team. And so the Washington State has standards for beginning educator induction, and it requires us to have a team of stakeholders that meet 3 times throughout the year. Diana is on the team, as well as Elena Velasquez, middle school principal, myself. We have teachers from every building representing their content area and or grade. So we have Tammy French from the high school, Shelly Castellano, also from the high school, Brittany Acheda from the middle school. Ismael Ramos was at the middle school, so I needed to change that to high school because now he is at the high school. So we need another middle school representative. And then at the elementary, we have Frances Velasquez and Sarah Warner. And so we've been reviewing and reflecting on the program using the induction standards as our guide. Go ahead. And I love the quote from page 8 in the induction standards, where it says all participants in the system, when they feel ownership for the success of beginning educators and collaborate together to support them, then the district has developed a collective sense of responsibility. And this shared sense of responsibility is foundational to developing a robust, comprehensive system of induction that promotes teachers' learning and the learning of the students in their classroom. One of the great things this year we noticed in looking at our program is how well it aligns to the PLC work that we started with year one. And we were able to check off boxes to say that we are implementing with fidelity. So during our community, our PLC work, our building and district leaders and our mentors are assisting all teachers, but also beginning teachers with the PLC process. And that aligns with our state 8 criteria, which is the teacher evaluation system. We're helping to support special ed and English language learner teachers. They are a part of those PLC teams. They are working with general ed teachers to include or to assist with inclusion, case management, and also just working with other adults, other colleagues. Next year, part C, we're going to dive into looking more closely at student data based off of assessments and monitor student learning and reflect on next steps, which would be like interventions and or extensions. And the last one, again, aligning to state criteria 8, is exhibiting that collaborative collegial approach to educators working together for student success.
If you're out and about tomorrow or Thursday, we have our last 2 days. We have social studies team tomorrow, grades 5 through
12.
12,
Yep.
working on their PLC standards, essential standards. And then Thursday is our kindergarten TK, transitional kindergarten team in here.
Yes.
You're welcome to walk in and just see what the work that they're doing.
And we did get on Monday, the MTSS
Oh.
team is going to meet on Monday.
Okay, good.
And Laura and Tamara are coming out because they also facilitate SEL
Okay.
at the ESD. So
Good.
they are excited to come out and support that team as well. Part of our work is developing a big mentor pool. And so our purpose using the Washington State Standards for Mentoring is that we build these respectful relationships between the beginning educator and our skillful, experienced veteran educators. That's a critical component of this induction process. We want to strengthen the educator's ability to create those equitable, inclusive learning environments to promote positive impact on student success. At QVSD, we are always referring to the best induction and mentoring standards to drive our work. Mentor selection is specific and they go to ongoing training throughout the year.
So some
mentors-
of their
oh, go ahead.
training might be to learn how to work with adults because they're used to working with students, and adult learners are different than student learners.
And OSPI offers Mentor Academy 101 and 201 training. And so we make sure that our mentors are properly trained. And then every month they continue to go to additional training with me at what we call roundtables. Our mentors help plan and participate in the new Teacher Academy in August. And then every month we have mentor roundtables, which I just mentioned. It facilitates the work that we're doing. And then our mentees get together and also look at the instructional framework that they are evaluated on. We do just-in-time training, which means like in September, we talk about parent conferences coming up in October. Another example would be like maybe in March, we start talking about state testing. So it's in time, just-in-time training. So we're not blasting them with too much information all at once. I meet with them weekly to do learning focused conversations, and I do walkthroughs and observations as well. And I help them engage in peer observations where they can go into other classrooms to observe their colleagues. Building a mentor pool starts within our district. So I've showed you this before, starting at the top. A new hire to QVSD comes to our new Teacher Academy. If they are a year 1 teacher, I, as the instructional coach, am their mentee or mentor, excuse me. Year 2, they either have me again or perhaps a colleague mentor, depending on their role or how many years of service they have. If they're in year 3, I partner them with another colleague mentor, and then I begin to recruit for training so that they can train in year 4 and perhaps be a mentor in year 5. And a lot of our current mentors were once mentees. So they've lived it, they know what it's like, they've been in the trenches, and they are willing to help our new teachers grow and thrive. Right now, we have on the left, we have in our first year cohort 7 teachers that are brand new, first year teachers. 1 ESA, it's our high school counselor. 2 of the 8 are long-term subs. In our year 2 cohort, we only have 1 second year teacher. And so I've combined the first year and second year cohort into 1 mentee roundtable meeting once a month. Our third year teachers, we have 5 of them, and they are partnered with our colleague mentors who have been selected to partner with them, and they meet monthly and participate in peer observations. Right now, we have 18 trained mentors who still want to be mentors. We lost a few over the last couple of years, but I'm trying to get more trained and willing to participate. We want people who want to do this job. It's really important. So active current mentors.
Does one
Yeah.
mentor stay with a single teacher the whole time?
Not
Or do
necessarily.
they rotate, and so more the merrier?
I usually have the new teachers first and second year, I mentor them,
Yeah.
and then when they get to their third year, they have a different colleague mentor.
Right, but I mean,
oh.
is it that same one?
No, not always, but that's part of the burnout process. Is some people are doing it year after year and they want to take a break. So I want to build the pool so people don't get burnt out. Right now, Francis Velasquez and Sarah Warner are mentoring at FES. At the middle school, Vertus Lewis, Madison Reby, and Brittany Acheda are mentoring. At the high school, Carol Vanderveer. But I have trained mentors ready to go. In the middle column, you can see at FES, I still have Nicole Johnson and Hillary Norbisrath. They just wanted to take a break. At FMS, I have quite a few. Kayla Ayers, Scott Burton, Jen Levington, Tara Huggins, Victoria Strucker, and Marnie Whitehead. At FHS, Tammy French, Jason Richard, and Rob Rogers. And at the ALE, Jananne Meyer, who also wanted to take a pause.
You may have misunderstood my question a little bit.
Okay.
So if Nicole Johnson is mentoring a new teacher,
Yeah.
or in the third year,
Yes.
is she the only one mentoring that teacher in the third year? Or would any of the other mentors be mentoring that teacher?
Just Nicole.
She would be
Yes.
dedicated to that one teacher?
Yes.
Okay.
And we do
Correct.
try to pair likeness of teaching
Sometimes.
responsibilities, but not
Not
always.
always.
Just depends.
Gotcha, okay, thanks.
And then I do have some folks interested in receiving training on the right. And so many of those people listed there, actually all of them listed there, were mentees when they were hired here. So they are interested in becoming mentors.
So you said you had a couple long-term subs
Yes,
that are mentees.
they are being supported through the mentee program.
So
Yes.
they're hoping to become teachers or what?
Some of them have their credentials, some don't. They're in the process of getting their credentials, but they can get an emergency substitute status certification for a limited time while they're finishing their credentials. And so those we have assigned to different buildings, and they stay in that building depending on where their certification is and what subject. Some are assigned a long-term, like we have a maternity leave or something.
And so if you follow along, I mean, it's hard to read from back here, but I've asked the mentors to kind of give me some sound bites of what they've learned as a mentor. So there's some quotes here, but the gist of it is that they're finding that they're using those practices that they've learned through the mentor program to work with their colleagues, work with their students, and have a positive impact on their work. And then the next slide, I asked mentees to provide me with some information. How has this program impacted their practice? And basically what most people are saying is that they feel that they are super supported by veteran teachers. They feel that they have someone to bounce ideas off of, someone to support them, someone to help guide them towards best practices. And like this one right here, made a huge impact on her professional practice. It's giving her time and space to learn with people who are experiencing the same thing. It allows for collaboration with experts in the field, provided with many resources and connecting them to other people. So our program does a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And it's nice to get the numbers smaller year after year. I don't want to work myself out of a job or anything, but
Oh,
it
we
is,
have plenty for you to do.
yeah, there's plenty for me to do, but
What numbers are getting smaller?
our new teacher, our new hires. So
Oh,
this year we
oh.
only had 7, whereas in
Well,
previous
that
years we
much
had.
So it's kind of a
What?
mixed
More.
bag.
Much
It's good that
turnover.
we don't have the turnover, but
Good.
We want to keep our teachers here. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the purpose, is to prevent that
movement,
constant turnover.
cool.
Any questions?
Oh,
Good job.
Thank you for your time
Great
today.
program.
Thank you, Carson. You just do so well at organizing things, and then especially your increased load this year with the PLC work. You've done phenomenal things.
That's been a lot.
I
but
really
thank you.
appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. And if you guys stop by tomorrow or Thursday, that would be great.
okay.
And several Fridays ago, I was at Olympic High School, and Mr. and Mrs. Peterson told me to tell you specifically hello. Got to see
Hopefully I'll
them.
see you this Margot on the truck. Field with Brock this year. Yes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to our consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt tonight's consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Thanks.
I'll second it.
All righty. Any questions about it? Okay, all those in favor of the consent agenda tonight, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. It's consented to. Reports. Leadership report starring Sherry Wellen.
I don't have a PowerPoint because really I don't have
No
a
power.
lot.
Either no power or you have no point.
So I was thinking when I got close to this, I was doing all my training every year. I have to train on summer food. And then you have to apply for it. And I thought, I don't think I've ever talked about that before. So we're gonna talk about summer food. It's open to anyone, 2 to 18. Mostly it's our summer school kids, but we've had kids come and just, show up with mom, and I'm gonna have 5 kids, and we've fed everywhere from 60 to 120 breakfasts and 100 to 150 lunches.
And we don't have that many in summer school, do we?
No.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, so
Good.
we get quite a
That's
bit
great.
off just coming in. And let's see, we do breakfast and lunch. We only have 2 cooks, but we're easily can do that. We do it at the high school. And which makes it really nice for the elementary. They walk their kids over, the middle school's right there, and the high school kids, they're the hardest ones to get to cook. And let's see what else is with that. It's 16 days. And then the day after we stop, Concerned Citizens picks it up. So they take it over for the rest of the summer so that my folks can have a drink.
So what's going on with the turmoil in the government about food sources and USDA, and are we being impacted yet?
Not
Or
yet, not yet.
are you getting information that would indicate we might be?
So I'm supposed to buy American only products, have been for 5 years now. That's really hard to do because we don't grow everything that we need for our program in this country. So when I do purchase something from another country, I have to fill out a form. And that's starting to become more prevalent. So I don't know if that will change things. If
What
we're-
kind of food are you having to buy out?
It's a lot of fruits and vegetables.
Fruits? Yeah, because
Yeah.
especially in the off, well,
Yeah.
I guess summer might be different.
But, except for the prices have gone up in the last 4 years. And actually right now we feed more kids than we did before the pandemic because we're CEP, where we feed all kids for free. no matter what.
Community eligibility, yeah.
And so our numbers went up but so did the food cost. And when I used to buy a case of peaches, sliced peaches, 6 number 10 cans, it was $22, now it's $60. So we're really careful on,
Well, the price of cans are gonna go up too, so.
so
Yeah.
we're just careful on waste.
Yeah, and how do you tell us about that? How are you careful with
That's
waste?
a hard one because they
It's a
have to take a
regulation.
certain amount of food for it to be a reimbursable meal by the US government. And so kids don't always like broccoli. He's not sure you're doing it. And you try and make things that they like, but we have, I showed you that probably before in Georgia, but we have all those categories of all the different vegetables we have to do within a week. And so we just try and make it as, happy as we can. But you see, elementary is the hardest because they'll just walk over, they know what they have to take, and then they'll go right over to the garbage and there it goes. Now, high school, they eat beautifully. They come back for more and,
But
But
our
the pellets are
elementary is way better than it used to be.
it is.
Because we have the serving bar, right?
Yeah, we have 2 serving bars
Right.
there now. And so,
So they're just finicky or?
the little ones just don't know sometimes
What it is.
what the foods are,
Oh,
Yeah, they may not be getting them at
And
home.
we started at Hickama a couple of years ago. We started at the middle school
They love it. Yeah.
and
I don't even know what it is.
it's a root vegetable.
It's a what?
It's a root vegetable.
Oh, it's like rutabaga or something?
No, it's kind of
Kinda like
sweet.
a sweet potato.
It
It's
kind
like-
of tastes like an apple. It's got the texture of an
Yeah.
apple.
What's it called?
Jicama.
Take
It
it
is supposed to be a natural food for diabetic people that helps stabilize their
Oh,
system. It's got a
okay.
lot of fiber.
Can you buy it at Thriftway?
I don't know.
I have.
Well, I have to get like 25 pounds of it. so-
Well, I know, I'm just asking, because I don't ever remember
I
seeing
get mine
anything
at
like that. Is
Safeway.
it in the fruits or the vegetables? section?
Vegetables.
No, they don't have.
I'll
it
bring
there.
some.
Okay.
Honestly, it's awesome.
Okay, bring me a slice.
We make them into sticks. So it kind of looks like French fries, but they know it's not. And then when we started buying tahini, well, I had to have tahini okay through the government, through the state to use it because we're not supposed to use much salt. But once we started letting them have that little bits, it went like fire. I mean, they'll eat 10 pounds.
And what is tahini now? These are all out of my range.
Mexican spice.
It's a lime, it's got lime.
Lime,
Yeah.
chili, spice, like salt.
Oh, it's a spice, it's not a
Spice.
food.
And they add it to all fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables. So you see the apples and the.
And they'll eat
and
so
the
much
oranges,
more of it if
and
you
then
have
just
that
put
there.
them on there.
Oh. Huh, interesting.
So then we started.
Can you put some tahini on the,
Yeah, I'll
Whatever the
bring,
other
then we'll
thing
bring
is.
it next time. Or
Try
try
that.
that.
So,
I have a pretty meat and potato palate, sorry.
I don't know what I'm concerned about most is the industry, because they're going to really come down hard on the sodium. And the industry that makes those products has to reformulate all of that. And so that's what I don't know how that's gonna go. I'd like to scratch cook more. Problem with that is that we've got rid of all that equipment to go this route, because they told us in 2010 we were gonna have to do it this way. And so if we go to back up again and do it a different way, it's, we have to change out all that equipment. So
Which equipment?
ovens, or not ovens, but cooktops, and
Oh, we don't have those.
we have ovens, steamers, and warmers. So it wouldn't be a huge
Well,
thing, but
Yeah.
it would be,
it'd be nice if we
At
could be
this point, we
consistent.
don't believe we're gonna be shorted any funding, correct?
so far they're saying no.
We don't have a farm grant. They did cut the farm grants and they cut food bank grants, but not school grants. That's what we know of right now.
So far.
Good.
What they didn't also cut is my next thing, is the Sunbucks.
The
So, it's called Sunbucks. So,
Some bucks.
when COVID happened, we were feeding kids every day, and then they decided to do a pandemic EBT card. So they would send every child in our whole district EBT card for, and they preload it with money so that they could get groceries outside of the school day. And so they did that, and they stopped that after the pandemic was over. Well, they decided to keep it in the summer, and now they call it Sunbucks, but it's only given to kids that qualify. So I have to upload some documents.
Family income.
Some data, and so that will happen the end of June.
And they can use these cards in
Only at the
town?
grocery
At the
store,
grocery
at certain
store, oh.
places, yeah.
We have the same rules as a regular EBT card would have. I just
No
didn't know if you
alcohol,
guys knew
no-
that.
No
Right.
tobacco.
No tobacco.
no- Yeah.
I hear they're gonna maybe make soda pop, take those off too.
Mhm.
So,
Wow.
but good things.
Thank you, Sherry, and please tell your crew how much we appreciate them. They're the lunch ladies, and they want to be called that, and they are exceptional with our kids. They do a really good job. Thank you.
Okay, well,
Thank
thank you.
Well,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you, Sherry, appreciate it. Okay. Board member reports. Oh, anybody? Got anything interesting?
Nothing for me.
Huh?
No.
No, Shannon?
Really?
Well, spring break, I guess.
Yeah, there's not a lot going
A
on.
lot
and
going on.
It's been raining
Okay.
a lot. So
Yeah.
nothing
How
much.
about Myron, do you have anything? Oh, you're on vacation. You don't have anything.
Oh, just a couple of things. I think Diana sent you guys the board and partner summit invitation for this year.
Actually, Sheila did.
I mean, yeah, Sheila, I'm sorry. Yeah, Sheila sent that
And
to
then
Diana.
the email invitation to the summit, which is now not in October, it is the first week in December, right? The 3rd and the 4th.
Yeah, December 3rd and 4th. Yep.
So the weather could be just absolutely atrocious.
It might be, it might not be. I asked my brother, he said sometimes we get really good weather in December. Sometimes we don't.
So that's a really cool event. I encourage you guys to go if you can.
I wanna go.
And it sounds like it's a 2-day event this time where there'll be a reception the first night and then the all-day event the next day. And then we can fly out that
Friday,
the following day.
yeah.
And the other big news is the remote testing bill passed both houses. Right now, we're waiting for concurrence because the version passed by the Senate was slightly different than the version the House passed. So once that concurrence happens, we anticipate it going to the governor.
That's the remote testing so that our kids can test in their homes rather than have to travel to a test site. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
good.
there's funding attached to it as well, isn't there, Myron?
As I recall, there's a little bit of funding, I think, to help fund the pilot, to help
Yeah.
OSPI fund the pilots.
Well, good. All right, well, and I don't have anything, so moving right along. Let's go to new business. Board policy 6700, nutrition. It's a revision.
So before we do, there's
Oh.
3 policies and they all used to be bundled in one. And it was food, nutrition, I can't remember, food, nutrition, wellness, something. You
Right.
can see it there in the title. So they unbundled those. So there's a nutrition one, really nothing new in that Sherry has to follow. It just really pulled the wellness part out of it. And then the second one is the recess and physical activity. It used to just say physical activity. Now we're required to get in X amount of recess for our elementary kids, and we do the 30
And-
minutes.
Okay.
So
And we-
anyway, I'm talking all the way through them, but they were all bundled in one. Now they're putting them in 3 different policies.
Okay, and in the recesses, we are no longer withholding recesses as punishment. Is that correct?
Correct. We may not do that.
Are they allowed to do something at recess, like run around?
Oh, yeah.
Does it?
No, they'll have to stand still against the wall. Just breathe in fresh air. Okay, so is there a motion to adopt the revision of policy 6700 nutrition?
I'll make a motion, we approve board policy 6700 nutrition.
I'll second.
Okay, any other questions about it? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. It passes. We have policy 6701, recess and physical activity, a first reading.
There's no red on this, and nothing changed.
No, and again, it's a brand new policy. It pulled the physical component, but it really is addressing new statute under recess, which was passed last legislative session. We should have put this in policy
Last year.
in the summertime, and I must have missed the memo on that, but we did implement the 30 minutes of unstructured recess is really what they were getting at.
Is that per day?
Uh,
30 minutes?
yeah.
And we don't do it for 30 minutes. We do it like 10 minutes at a shot, or do we do it for 30
different in
minutes?
each buildings.
In our building, we do 20 minutes and then we do 10 minutes. Like, but it's more like 20/20 because of the lunch attached to the lunch.
Mhm. Yeah. And I
Okay.
think Sarah does the 30 straight minutes
Mm,
of unstructured.
like around lunch?
The kids, they do it before they eat. We used to do it after they eat.
But
But
then
the
you get
problem
sick.
with that is that the kids want to go play, so they weren't eating. So we do it now first, and then they come in and eat,
Oh,
which makes sense.
okay.
About our boys,
Yeah.
let's go play and not
Eat
eat.
really quick.
Well, maybe
Okay.
not Luke.
Well, that's first reading. Any questions about that or any further discussion? Okay, we'll look for that next board meeting. And is there, the next one is Board Policy 6702, Wellness Policy Revision. That will require a motion. Just says be well.
And we do have to we haven't had a wellness committee since COVID, and we put a wellness committee in that kind of reviews our, what we're doing in all of our schools to make sure we're following our policy and getting input to make sure we're doing best practices. Sherry usually heads that up. That's why she was here.
So, I just forgot the words. Recess is separate. Do you also do physical education classes in the middle school and the elementary they have, and the high school, of course? Okay. Do they have, in the high school, is it every quarter or semester, do they have PE?
They need 1.5 credits of PE graduation, so
And-
that's based on the graduation.
So 3 quarter or 3 semesters
Yes.
over the course of your 4 years?
Some
Okay,
students choose to have the opportunity, based off their electives, to take more physical education than that.
gotcha. Okay. All righty. Any other questions? All right. All those in favor that, do we have a motion?
I'll
Better
make a
have a
motion.
motion.
I'll make a motion to approve board policy 6702, the wellness.
Thanks.
policy
Second?
revision.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It's revised. Okay, next we have approval of Insight School of Washington CTE Pathways Clinical Photography.
That's cool.
Yes.
What is it?
Are you there?
So these
Mike?
pathways, yeah, I am. So these pathways are because for the graduation pathways, if we have more than one program area that the courses cross, we have to get you to approve them when we're going outside of those program areas. So that's what these pathways are, is because if you look at the 4 courses, I don't remember which ones they are, but they're actually in different CT clusters. And so in order for them to count for graduation, by default, they all have to be in the same cluster. So we're cross-clustering to get these two. So if you look at the course sequences, these courses are across multiple clusters for both of these.
Okay, so if you go one pathway or the other, you have to do all 4 of those classes.
Courses. Yeah, they have to do all 4 of those courses. And what needs to get approved, if any of these zip codes, so the codes behind the scenes, are used by Forks High School, they could use those same combinations at Forks High School as well.
And then that serves as a graduation pathway in the event a student wanted to get certification in in an alternative route from passing tests and so forth.
Yeah, more than half of our kids, I would say, use CT pathways. So we use a lot of these. We don't have as many of them that we're doing these custom ones with anymore, but these were two that we felt like we needed to submit for you guys' approval. And then once you guys approve them, we actually have to get them approved by OSPI as well. So your step is the first step. And once we get these approved by you, then we submit them to OSPI for final approval.
Cool.
Okay. Those sound pretty cool. I heard something about us. Can our students access these CTEs?
They can't access them through Insight unless they enrolled in Insight, but if we had a teacher who could teach them, we can utilize that SIP code, because this pathway is then approved for QVSD, then in theory, Brenda could use any of the courses that they have in the system because they're registered under QVSD.
What is the zip code you're talking about?
SIP.
SIP.
What is it?
I don't know.
CIP.
Yeah, I don't remember what it stands for, but basically, it's every career technical education course has a code associated with identifying how it fits within all of the different CT clusters. And so,
Yeah, that's good enough. I'm sorry. I just
Yeah.
couldn't figure out why you need a zip code, but
yeah,
okay. So a teacher in our school, to teach that, would they have to have some certification?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
Yeah. In order to teach a certain
Yeah.
course with a certain SIP code, you have to have the matching. So if like for Danny Winger, he has to have the auto tag. For Shelley, she'd have to have culinary.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Any further questions?
A SIP code stands for classification of instructional programs. Did you say that, Myron? I might have missed that.
I cut him off.
Brenda did. Very good.
I
Thank
didn't
you,
hear
Brenda.
her. I'm sorry, Myron, I cut you off.
Yeah, man, well,
no worries, we're fine.
All right, well, is there a motion to, did we do number 7?
yeah, that's what we're on, number 7.
Okay, yeah. Is there a motion to approve
I'll make a
clinical
motion.
photography?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, second.
I'll second it.
Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. It's passed. Now we'll go to medical photography. Is there a motion to approve ISW's CTE pathway medical photography?
I'll make a motion to approve the medical photography for Insight School, Washington.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
All right. Any other questions for Myron or anybody? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. It is approved. Ed,
Question, should have brought it up earlier, but the ball field. So like, what's the schedule? So where are we at in the process, I guess? I read the agreement.
Yeah, we just met with the Recreation Conservation Office representative who's managing our grant about a month ago. And we have a tentative schedule that we put in the system, but our first thing is we are getting an archaeological study. And those aren't easy to come by. We've got 2 years to do the grant, but we'll put Jay Henson, the architect, will be helping us get the schedule together and coordinating it.
Mhm.
Oh boy, I can't even remember now. I will bring Bill back on the 22nd, and he can walk through
Okay.
where we are.
Yeah,
We'll just get it, we're getting it started.
I've been asked a few times.
Okay.
About it.
Yeah.
And when it's gonna get going and different things.
I do not believe we will break ground for it, and not this summer, but the following is when we'll do the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Not
that was one
when?
of the questions.
Yeah, not this summer,
No,
next summer. Mhm.
And then
Cool.
So,
All right, well, guess what? Any other questions or comments for the good of the order? All right, those in the audience, you have another half hour. You need to sit here, but we are adjourned.
The
Thank you all
shortest
for
board
coming.
meeting ever.
Maybe. Do we have anything to sign?
Yes.
We have things to sign.